host of today. Today is the Delft Career Expo. I hope you're all aware. We were expecting more young people, but I guess because of the holiday, people are still staying at home and sleeping. So thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. Those who are here, thank you for coming. Okay, so Laik, let me hand over to you. Tell us who you are first, and housekeeping.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Laik from the Laik Delft Foundation, the founding director of the Laik Delft Foundation. I'm here in my job capacity as the founder, but I'm also here as a young person. And I'm also currently matric, if you don't know that. I'm at Alsis Dubai. So today I think it will be useful information that will be shared to you and to me as well. And also as the program director, so I'm both sides. I'm here as the program director, as a founder, and as a learner that will also receive useful information. And I do believe that today will be incredible and that you will receive information pertaining studies and where you can apply. So that's what I am in a nutshell.
I mean, the fact that he's still a young person himself and he's doing this, but we'll find out more about him. A little bit about housekeeping for today. If you need to answer your phone, please go outside. There's no smoking in the building. The toilets are behind us there. What else have we missed? That's mostly it. Okay, all right. So, what's the next thing that we're doing?
So we will do the welcome, and we did the welcome and the introduction already. So we'll do the opening prayer, and we will call on Pastor Sean from Don Bosco, Delft.
Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we come before you in the mighty name of Jesus. We thank you for this opportunity that we have to just glorify your name in all that you do. We thank you that all that we did and made possible is possible, but we pray for the impossibility to succeed and be successful. In Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor.
Give a round of applause for just being here. I also wanted to thank, as well as our guest speaker, the others are still coming. I know that it's going to be a little bit of a long day today, but not so long. And I'm hoping that with our speakers, you guys will get information that you're really in need of. Because I know when it comes to the reason why I did this event, when I started being a counselor, before I became a counselor, I was a volunteer in schools. I used to do after school programs. So there are things that I used to see that students do not get. Like we used to do in the old days, we used to go and visit the labs. We used to go and visit like for instance, it will take you to places where they do science and all of those things. But nowadays you don't get that opportunity. You guys don't even go to the museums so that you can see your history and all of those things. So I saw that was lacking in Delft. And I thought to myself, I'm gonna bring it here because it's gonna take me long and I will need lots of finance for me to take Delft students outside. So I told myself I'm gonna bring the University to Delft, and I will also bring the people to speak to you guys, like your lawyers, your teachers, so that they can help you guys to understand what the career entails, so that you guys understand, if I want to be a teacher, what subjects do I need to major in? And also if I want to become a lawyer, what is it that they look for? It's not only about the subject that you are good in, it's also about your personality, it's also about yourself as well. How you carry yourself and all of those things, it speaks to you. Sometimes some of the careers that you guys want to be, it comes natural. You know, you will see someone that likes to lead. Those people you can see already, oh, that one will be a good lawyer. Even with the argument, you know, the type of person you can tell already. So they are here for that today, to speak to you guys so that you can understand in your career path. And in terms of the university that is here today, please use this opportunity to go to each and every table, find out what the university's fees is, and also find out how do you apply. Maybe you are someone who is like, you know, they call it makwenkwe, the person that likes to do this. So if you've got makwenkwes, don't worry, we've got Pastor Johnson at the back there. He will sort you out with the first aider. And also if you are hungry, Takalani is here to feed you guys. So you see, we've got everything. We've got everything here now. I don't know what you call it in English, but in Xhosa we say ihlelo 15. that is food. If someone says Kelo 15, then you know we're talking about food, and you know most with you guys, where there's no food, there's none of you guys. So we also have, as well as the ex-principal of Ver Genoeg here with us, who is going to be in your face 24/7. Me and him are working together to make sure that we bring change into the schools of Delft as well. So everybody else that I didn't mention, Mr. D, and everyone also, as well as the guest speaker. One of the guest speakers that is here is my father, who is now, I don't want to mention his age, but he's also studying. Yes, advocate. Thank you so much.
Start with the speakers, the lovely three people sitting over there. We'll start with one of our volunteers at the Laito Foundation. His name is Leonardo Muller, and he's also final year LLB law student at the University of Western Cape. So we've just asked him to share brief how university life is, what it is to expect at university, and also the degree that he is studying to become a lawyer, and he's also in his final year of law. So please give a round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Laik, for the introduction. As he said, I am Leonardo. I am a final year law student. What is university? University is a place, obviously, where dreams come true, and I think, as all of you are here today, you are here for a reason, and you want to get information as to how you can go about to make that dream a reality. So I matriculated back in 2017. I know I look young, but I get that a lot. I'm 22 years old, and what motivated me to study law or to pursue a career in law is that I've always had a passion for law since I was a child. So that's the one thing I also wanted to mention, is that you can't just go study anything. You have to have a passion somewhere. So the first thing I wanted to study was teaching, and then I realized when I came in grade 10, I thought that I actually had a passion for law. And then I chose the appropriate subjects for it, but also I had like a passion for business. So which is why I sat back and told myself that why not pursue a career in law? You can always, law is different places or different fields rather. So I told myself that I want to pursue a career in corporate law, and that is why I am here today. I also want to encourage the students specifically. I know matric is not hard, but for me it was, I wouldn't say it was an easy breeze, but I know what I wanted to do the next year, which is why I focused, I did what I had to do. I also want to mention that I had no financial support. I lost my father back in 2009, so it was only my mother that was the sole provider, and for that reason I also had to study hard to get the best marks possible in order to secure a bursary. I was fortunate enough in my first year in 2018, I got 4 bursaries. One of that was REAP, the other one was NASFAS, and the other 2 was 2 partial bursaries. I was also fortunate enough from the one bursary to get a laptop, book allowance, and in my second year I got another laptop sponsor. So I just want to say to the students here that your dream can become a reality. What you want to do, it can become a reality as long as you put in the hard work. Thank you.
For that, sharing his story. I think he was asked on the spot to speak, but he spoke so well. And I hope that you also feel inspired, because I know me, you, him, we come from communities that is defined by so many socio-economic issues that it actually demotivates us not to go and study, not to go pursue a career in law, education, or the medical field. And we feel that we're not good enough because of various reasons, our backgrounds. But I hope that this story inspired you, and that you also shared information that they had no financial assistance to go and study. So hopefully today, what today is about is bringing the information to you. So that's why there's many institutions that will convey information to you, how you can obtain financial assistance. So you don't have to just go and work at the normal store. You can actually get a degree, and it depends on your hard work. So yeah, but that's enough from me now. So let me stick to the program. So next we'll have Councillor Dineo's dad, as she mentioned, Mr. Zed Njoweni, and he will be giving his own brief introduction about who he is, and she also mentioned that he's currently studying and also an advocate. So Mr. Njoweni, you're more than welcome to give it under the applause.
Unfortunately, those who don't understand English will have to bear with me. I'm not going to speak any Xhosa today. My name is Olile Njokweni. I'm the councillor's father. I'm going to be brief, because if I'm going to tell about my life, it will be till Christmas time. I passed my matric in 1989 when I was 36. Then I did my matric at Xavier College in Lansdowne. I'll soon be 70. I'll soon be 70. And I'm graduating for the first time in my life this year for an LLB to become a lawyer. You are a doctor, you did the wrong operation on someone, you go to court, or you go to jail, or they claim against you, that's law. So everything, even predicant, what do they call predicant now? Pastors. If they do anything wrong, maybe they collect money and they run a scam or whatever, or they don't pray for you to become healthy, the law will come after them. So I'm graduating. Maybe I'll invite some of you guys on my graduation, which is by September. I'm not too sure the date, but my children say they're going to organize it for me. So please guys, whatever that you do, follow your passion. And the legal field is where you will never be out of job, because you can open your own law firm. You don't have to work for a boss. But you can do your articles. After you finish your articles, you decide to go on your own. As soon as you get admitted, which is, you can be admitted within 2 years, and then you can open your own law firm. And we need lawyers in Delft. I think you do, don't you agree with me? We do really need legal services. Yes. We really do. I don't want to say why, because it's going to affect my daughter as well. Because if they don't do X, Y, Z, there's too many potholes. What does the lawyer do? It takes the city of Cape Town to court. So I don't want to go there. Thank you so much, but I hope I've inspired a lot of you guys, because as I said, on the 14th of February, which is Valentine's Day, I'll be exactly 70. On Valentine's Day.
There's going to be quiz at the end. I hope you guys are paying attention. And there's prizes. So I actually shouldn't have told you that. There's going to be prizes, so I hope you've been paying attention to listen. And there'll be games as well. So now we're going to have our first female speaker.
Can I just ask you, I just want to do something for the next 2 seconds. Can I ask you all just to stand? Just to... I'm going to say it's okay, you're going to say it's alright. If I say it's alright, you're going to say it's okay. Okay? Okay? Alright? Okay, alright? For the last time, alright? Okay, So I make bold statement, bags with accessories, and then I'm the founder of the BGK Youth Development, where we do training and skills for the youth. So basically the bold statement bags is basically, I say everything bold, because where I grew up from on the Cape Flats, we couldn't use the word kruskop. We couldn't call anybody bossiko, gumara. And my bags is all about that. I'm telling women, you're curvy. So I see you, I acknowledge you, and I celebrate you. That is all because gender-based violence is a very, very big thing in our country. So I'm a voice for women, and with being a voice, I put that voice on the bold statement bags. So being an entrepreneur, I want to know if anybody, only one or two of you can tell me what is an entrepreneur. Quick, very quickly. Do you have any? Okay, can you say? Yeah.
Entrepreneur is someone that uses their own ideas to make their own business.
Thank you. Is there someone else? Give a hand of applause. Anybody else? Okay. So she's entirely correct. An entrepreneur is a risk taker. Is someone that follows their passion. They do things sometimes without capital. And then you ask people, so how can you say I must start a business? Is they are called sometimes the hustlers. So what they do, they would buy a pocket of potatoes and they would make small bags and they will sell it. And if it works, it works. So an entrepreneur is people that they are the risk takers. It can become an overnight success, but they follow their passion. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, at least they've taken the risk. Okay, and with entrepreneurs is basically, it's hard always. Sometimes it's hard because being an entrepreneur is that, okay, sometimes being an entrepreneur is that sometimes you're taking the risk of taking a business and starting from the bottom without, yes, maybe you've got the knowledge, but now you have to put it in practical, and now you need to show what you've actually done. And a lot of businesses don't succeed after 3 years because you work 24 hours. Sometimes when you start off, you have to make people believe in your dream, because everybody doesn't believe in what you do. Your support system will suck because everybody wants to. When I started my brand, and then everybody asked me, how can you call people names on your bags and then you think it's okay? It's not okay. I said, just watch me. And I said, just watch me, I'm gonna show you. And I showed them. And guess what? My business thrived. Everybody's still with me on that? Why I say that? When I started my business and everything was unclear to me and I didn't understand, and all I know is that my passion started pushing me, and it just pushed me. Because where I come from, nobody believes in our people being entrepreneurs, and everybody's asking on the Cape Flats, are you an entrepreneur? But where do you come up with that word? Is that word sometimes in the dictionary? I said yes. And being doing that, God has been really faithful to me. I think last year, I've been now 3 years on my journey of being an entrepreneur. I was the face of change for Ackermans. The beautiful news, they did a story on me and it reached the international platform, and they put me on the billboards in the waterfront. That is also that is just by being consistent in what I'm doing. UWC, they reached out to me and they said, we would like you to come and study through us because we see what you're doing. And also, if you can, bring a few people with you, and we will take them through this whole journey and we will upskill them. So, being an entrepreneur can open up quite a few doors for you. Is everybody still with me? Any questions? No questions. So if you want to be an entrepreneur and you got something idea, or you're passionate about something and you're not sure where to start, and I always tell people this, I always tell them, if you're unsure about a lot of things, there is organizations right around you in your community. Start doing volunteering work. But then a lot of people say, but no, but they're not going to pay me. You've got nothing to lose. You're at home. So it's school holidays. And if you want to start something, tap in by businesses. Do job shadowing. Go to corporate companies, you know. Google is your friend. TikTok is your friend. Social media is your friend. Instagram is your friend. Make use of it. Go and do volunteering work. Go and do job shadowing. And if you're unsure about anything, you know what? Go and look up. And you can follow YouTube channels. And you can see what they do and how they do it. And then you can see if it's something that you really want to do. The world is your oyster. I'm going to say it again. The world is your oyster. And you are destined for greatness. I'm going to say it again. The world is your oyster. And you, say to the person next to you, are destined for greatness. I want you to look at the person behind you, in front of you, and I want you to tell that person you are destined for greatness. Irrespective of what our circumstances in our community is, you are destined for greatness. I want you to stand and look at the person. I want you to stand and I want you to look at the person next to you and I want you to tell them you are destined for greatness. Say it again, you must say it loud enough. That's it, to say. I want the sign to stand to me. And I want you to say to the person behind you in front of you, you are destined for greatness. Say it again. I want you to say it.
Yes. Okay, what we're going to do next, I know she was asking you whether you had questions, but we want to take all questions for the three speakers that we've had. Where's that young man? What stood out for you? You need to speak up loud. It's all part of training for you as well. So what stood out for you? Yes, speak in African. As well. What did you pick that can help you? What do you want to do when you grow up? Do you know yet? What do you want to do? A music teacher. Okay.
What stood out to me was that everyone saw.
Oh yeah. I don't mind verses.
What stood out to me was that when each and everyone spoke, there was that you have to have a deep passion for what you want to do. And my passion is that I want to become a music teacher. I want to do music and yeah, that's what.
Why music? Why music? Why music?
I grew up, yes, my family does music. And recently I've been in a sing competition. So, and recently I've also recorded a song, so
She's going to sing.
No, just breathe. So I'm going to sing a small part of the song that I'm about to do. So I surrender my heart. I'm letting down my guard. Won't hold back anymore. I used to be so afraid to love. Is the earth. Tearing down the walls to find the for me, what stood out for me as a future lawyer is that I have been practically all my entire life. People have told me like, no, Kifa, you can't do that. Criminal law and other laws are not for you. You're gonna get murdered. Like in you can tell me something and I know, I have a lot of potential and I like to talk. And I know that people criticize, yes, but I don't care. One thing that my LO teacher taught me is that turn your negative energy into positive energy. Yeah, and if in 10 years' time, you see me out here as a lawyer, just know that my own community and my background doesn't define me. My ego and the courage that I have from my family and friends go uplift me. It gives me, every morning I stand up at 1 o'clock. People think I'm on drugs. Okay. At least I know that if I put the energy into the work and I work hard, study hard, I will get to where I want to become. I'm going to achieve my goals. I'm going to show business what. Look here.
Thank you, well done. The next act is going to be another young lady who sings powerful. So, are you ready? Give it up for our dear Janet. Give her a round of applause.
There are times I finally go to sleep at night. We are living through such troubled times, and every child that reaches out for someone to hold, for one moment they become my own. And how can I pretend what's going on when every second and every minute another soul is gone? And I believe that in my life I will see an end to hopelessness or giving up or suffering. Every day, that's how I know that things are gonna change. So how can I pretend that I know what's going on when every second and every minute another soul is gone? And
and so powerful. I had a lot of people joining you there. Okay. In which year did he go for matric? 19 when? 89. Is that correct? No. Yes, it is correct.
Mr. Taran van Wille, he's the founder of Behavior Resolutions, with a focus on empowering young people. He worked at Leap Science and Math School for 12 years, and he worked at Lifeline, rehabilitation centers and children's homes around the world.
Meet people. I want to introduce yourself, please.
Good morning to everyone large. My name is Ms. Amlandeti. I'm also a LIP student. I was a LIP student. I was so glad to meet Mr. Tarrant because he was my teacher there. Thank you very much.
So far today, and things that came out, it is about passion. And why I introduce it? Because I did work at Leap Science and Math School, and there's something that, and please, I don't want to focus on the negativity. I'm going to say now things that's not happening. She shouldn't have invited me today because of what's going to happen today. There's more things that we'll be doing currently here. So I wanted to know one thing. Something that's removed out of the education department, it is career guidance counseling. And I'm very sad about that today, people. Because I'm seeing grade 12s that has completed, matriculated, and then they come to me and say, sir, I don't know what I want to study. No, you're saying, this is truly happening, people. So this is something that we used to do in grade 9, because at the end of grade 9, you need to make subject choices. Who's all in grade 12, you know? You in grade 12, what are you planning on doing? Law enforcement. I love that. When are you applying? Is that through North Link? No, straight to the law enforcement? Yes. Okay, excellent. And that one girl that spoke earlier about lawyer, is something I believe in, is that we all need to have a voice. She knows Leap Science and Math School. I'm not lying, you know what we believed in there with our students? Our students must have a voice. Even in the event when an educator overcrossed the line being disrespectful to the pupil, I would see the pupil and the educator, because it's about us having a voice. But people, the drugging is taking over. We are losing youth currently. And I thank you for being open and honest about experimenting with the joint, running the talkie and stuff like that. But we need to understand what happens. We experiment. We love that feeling, right? We all know that feeling, no? They come there and then, you know, when you're up there, all your problems you can somehow work it out, then you become maths and science orientated. Because now I know the solution. You know what I'm saying? I know the solution. Because I'm going to look at that plug now. When that stuff is gone, guess what happens? The problem is still there and there I'm sitting. So then what happens? With us, that's not connecting with people, and we're not speaking about our emotions, I remember that feeling and I go back to that feeling, and when I wake up I'm addicted to that substance. So besides you focusing on your careers, career guidance counseling, going forward, what I'm strongly suggesting to you also, guys and girls, connect with one of the teachers at school. Why do I say connect? As if you're going through any emotional stuff at home, you're struggling, it's not about bad mouthing your own. You just need that space to let go, to make you feel okay about it. Because at the end of the day, no man is an island, okay? But please people, don't give up. There's always a solution. I don't care if you failed your grade 12 or whatever, you can still study further. Just don't give up at the end of the day. And then the ward counselors, you will let you know when the career guidance counseling is happening. Okay? People enjoy your day and not the talking, the day to day. Okay? Thank you, people.
Applause for Sam.
Everybody, you're all still awake. Do you need to stand up a little bit? You're all good. Right, so I can feel my age standing here talking to you today, because the only talkie story I know was talkie, where we used to run and knock on the door and run away. That was the only talkie I knew, but I know I'm very English, so it could be that. So I want to chat to you about a couple of things, and not necessarily finance, because that can be quite boring. Talking about money and who has money and who doesn't have money and how it all works. But I'll touch on that a little bit. What I want to talk about is how important the people in this room are for the future of South Africa. So who can tell me how many people live in South Africa? Hands up. What's the number? How many South Africans are there? Come on, anybody? Nobody. Who said that? 60 million, thank you very much. And how many of those 60 million are unemployed, not earning an income? What percentage of people? 35%. 35% of that 60 million, which is about 21 million people in our country, are unemployed. And then it gets worse. This is the negative part of the morning. I'm here to scare you. Yeah? Of that 21 million, that 35%, if we look at the age group between 16 and 24, that constitutes 64% of unemployment. Why am I telling you that? Because you're about to fall into that band of South Africans. So what's the purpose of today? Is to talk about opportunities and careers and studying and your career path. And I'm listening to some gorgeous people who are telling me they want to be music teachers and they want to be lawyers. But what about the rest of you who don't have a clue what you want to do? Hands up, who doesn't have a clue? There's got to be at least half the room. Yeah? How do you figure out what you're going to do? And how do you figure out what you like? Does walking around and looking at various expo sites let you leave here today and say, you know what, that's something I'm really interested in, or I think I'll love? What do you guys love at the moment? You love Facebook, you love TikTok, you love it when the school bell goes at the end of the day and you get to go home. Yeah? Oh, I remember, we always had double Afrikaans on a Friday afternoon. I mean, who does that to English people? Double Afrikaans lessons. And we had our Afrikaans teacher, her name was Mithro Reed. She had the short dark hair and bright red lipstick and the red nails, and she just used to pick on me day in and day out. I always had to do all the reading and the orals. Okay, my Afrikaans was good. But Friday afternoon, I couldn't wait for that bell to go. I want you to whisper, we are the leaders. We are the leaders. Go. We are the leaders. Okay, get a bit louder and hold. We are the leaders. Do you really believe that? Do you understand that the future of this country is sitting on your shoulders? Do you know that? Old crocs like me, and I'm not going to look at any of the other past 30s in the room, we're not going to be here. You're going to have to carry this country, whether it's Eskom, governments, teaching institutions, universities, medical services. You are the people that are going to run that in this country. You are the leaders. Now, can you say it a little bit louder for me? Go. We are the leaders. You're not convincing me. Louder.
We are the leaders.
Oh, you sound so vertraagd.
We are the leaders.
No, not yet. Go again.
We are the leaders.
No. Yeah, you're not very convincing. All right, let's try something else. Let's try we are the best.
We are the best.
Oh, that's better. Again.
We are the best.
Again.
We are the best.
No, you lost us. We're going to have to try something else. We are the future.
We are the future.
Again.
We are the future.
Again.
We are the future.
Not convinced. Not convinced. We're going to have to try one last time. We are important.
We are important.
No, it's not that one. What do you think they should be shouting? We are the future.
We are the future.
We are the future.
We are the future.
Start doing your applications now. Doing matric. Now's the time to apply. Don't wait till the end of the year. Don't forget your NVTs. Get in there. Get registered. A lot of you forget that you need to do your NVTs. Very important. And push your marks. Push your marks as high as you possibly can. You've got to be committed. It's literally 4 months and you're done and dusted. Don't finish matric and go, oh, I wish I'd done a little bit extra. Don't go there. And grade 11s, don't forget that when you apply in matric, it's your end of year results that the universities and the techs look at. You are under just as much pressure as the matrics. Matrics have got an opportunity to get it right and to correct it. Grade 11s, that final year-end report, that's most important. Good luck. I know it's difficult, but I honestly think if I just look around the room and that talent, yeah, I wish I could stand up and sing like that. I'd probably have you all running out the hall crying. But make the right choice and make it based. Go and look at those 4 things, have a look. If you don't know what you're doing, what you want to do, go and do some type of, what do they call those tests where they do a little analysis on you and tell you where you should be focusing. Do those things. Good luck. I'm looking forward to seeing some of you as lawyers and doctors and nurses and teachers. We need a lot of essential services in this country. Don't let us down, eh? Us old toppies, we're counting on you.
I am the officer in charge of Delft. You'll be eight weekends. Don't walk and drink. Right? I'm here to chat about law enforcement. There is opportunities. There's opportunity for advancement and there's opportunities to study law for free at the cost of the city. Now, my advice to you, if you want to go in law enforcement, then I suggest you do a short course in Safety in Society by Northern College in Delft. Because that gives you the platform to advance quicker. Some of the students got as inspector ranks in a time frame of about 3 years. They advancing in rank and they can further their studies. The city is paying for it. Now, law enforcement is a platform in our local communities. We don't fight crime. We address the virus which can turn into crime. Like people gambling, people dumping. You will never believe people is killing each other for rubble. And we address the theft of the cables. And then we do general crime prevention. Anything that can lead to crime, and that includes robberies, that includes dumping. Dumping is a major problem in the area. It includes a dumping in our draining systems. It includes a theft of water. And water is not stolen by our people. Water in this area is being stolen by corporate companies. Where they use the water for business, and if you can use the water, but you must have a standby because the city must bill you at the end of the day. And we started enforcing with the water restrictions, and we continue as we did this morning. Right. My other piece of advice for you as students is, go now, make your decision today, what you want to do in future. So that you are prepared. Don't go into something that you're not going to be happy with. I never knew I was going into law enforcement. I didn't even have a matric. I did matric at the age of 32 years old, on my own. So what I want to tell you, if you fail here, there's always opportunity. Never give up. I never gave up. And I'm here because of that reason. I never gave up. Not on myself or on my family. né? Don't engage in underage drinking. That is what's going to destroy your life. I promise. And you know what happens out of that underage drinking? Then you can get engaged into a brawl and you can kill somebody by accident. You can be charged for assault, you have a record, your career will be gone. Or you irresponsible and you become a mother before your time. That is the biggest threat to your future. Right? So is there anything you want to know how to get into law enforcement? The procedures for law enforcement. Currently we have a system where you can apply as a lead officer. You must be 18 years of age, you must have a matric and a driver's license. And only as a lead officer. Sorry, as an auxiliary officer. And when the posts become available, if you are auxiliary, you get all the training after hours. So it won't have an effect on your studies and stuff. You do it after hours. They learn to shoot, they learn everything. And that auxiliary services was developed for our neighborhood watch. Is there neighborhood watch people here? It was developed for the neighborhood, but there's also a foot into the system. The problem with the neighborhood watches in the areas was when the neighborhood watch catch somebody engaging in crime and they call upon SEPs or law enforcement or metro, then they take long to come out. And the guys got frustrated and they leave the people. You got away with the crime. Now, if they have the auxiliary, that auxiliary officer is part of the neighborhood watch. He's in uniform, he's armed, and he has his own patrol vehicle. So if they got somebody engaged in crime, then they do the arrest themselves on the spot.
As out, we are to answer questions for you guys, how to become an officer. And as you guys heard this morning, whoever came to the front always spoke about the passion. And that is something that you guys need to have. So I'll give you guys like a brief description on how I became an officer, where it all started. At the age of 15, between 15 and 16, I started doing patrols with my neighborhood watch. And on weekends, Saturday evenings, Friday evenings, when everybody's out, all my friends and stuff, then I am the one standing on the other side, serving my community with a neighborhood watch. And then, like my senior inspector just informed you guys, they became an auxiliary program. And because I was passionate about what I'm doing, and it was a dream for me to be in uniform one day, I was always active with my neighborhood watch. And one day on my way to a casual job that I had, I got a phone call from the city of Cape Town to say that they got my application, and I didn't know where this application came from. But because my leader in my neighborhood watch saw how passionate I am about it, he applied for me. And that is how I came in to the city. And I went to college, city sent me to college. I came back, I was at home for some time, and then I started with a volunteer program, the auxiliary program, where I was an auxiliary for about 3 months. And in that 3 months, my first month, I did 120 hours. And you can ask anybody that is employed, 120 hours is somebody that gets paid every day for being at work. And that is how I did it. Although it was for free, but every morning, 8:30, I was on duty, work till 5 o'clock, go home with all the other staff, and I was one of the only people that did not get paid. And because I was so passionate about it, and God opened that door for me, and He took me through the whole process, at the end of the month, the people that I worked with, when they get paid, they give like a 50 rand towards me for my petrol coverage, and that is how God opened the door for me. And I then went over to an EPWP program. That is also what happens in the city of Cape Town. They put you in an EPWP program where I didn't get a lot of money. I got like about 4,500 rand, I think it started off that time, and you work a lot. But because I was passionate about it, God saw my willingness and He used me. And I've been to various units in law enforcement. I'm now employed by law enforcement for 7 years. I'm permanent now for 4 years, if I'm not mistaken, 4 years. And my willingness, my eagerness, following my passion, following my dreams, striving to serve and educate my community.
Don't shout it out. What is the percentage of people unemployed in South Africa? What? 32%.
35, 65.
Okay, yeah, you got it first. Give a round of applause.
Okay, remember what I told you? Love yourself. Get up and dance. Level up. 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 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Level up.
Well done.
In fact, you're going to get more than that. Okay. There you go. Well done. With a round of applause for our young girl.
I'm sure you're hyped up now, but to get back to the program, we'll introduce Sister Danae Skuman from the Delft CHC. She's assistant nurse at the Delft Community Health Center with the responsibility for school health of learners. So Sister Danae will be speaking about the COVID vaccination and I think some general health issues surrounding youth and school health. A round of applause for Sister Danae.
Afternoon, everybody. Okay, how I started. Now I'm going to first start then. I worked as a student at ShopRite. Then after I matriculated, I still worked at ShopRite. And then I worked for a year at Durban Private Hospital as a carer. No, my dream was to always become a nurse. We also here at the same time with the COVID-19 vaccine, we took this platform because we want to also get you guys vaccinated. If you're 18 years and older, we invite you to come for the vaccination. I know you said you're scared. All of us is scared. Like I say to the grade 1 learners or the grade R learners, when I go to them and they look at me and they want to cry, I say, no man, I'm going to show you a magic trick. And my magic trick is just saying to them, close your eyes, bite on your teeth, and just relax the arm. That's a magic trick. So I don't know why you're scared, guys and girls. We are here, the COVID vaccine is there. We want to vaccinate you to make sure that you build up your immune system against any COVID symptoms. Okay? And then also, once we're done, we will give you a leaflet to tell you what you must look out for. That's only, your arm will maybe be red or swollen. We will tell you to put a warm cloth or warm compressions on your arm, use some ointment like Vicks or Puma's ointment, and then you rub it on there. For headache, fever that you might take, you just drink Panadol. That's the common symptoms we have. And we've taken that vaccine, we had the symptoms, and we are still here. We've even taken our second vaccination, we've taken even our third booster. So there's nothing really, guys, to be scared of. If we give it here today, we give it to you here today. We are still going to come to you. We are still going to come to your schools to also give you the vaccination there if we can't get all the children vaccinated here today. But the choice is yours. If you need a form, take a form at the back and bring it back tomorrow for us. Any questions? Madam?
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sister Danae. So we'll move on to the next speaker, and we really do encourage you to get your vaccination. As I mentioned earlier on, it's entirely voluntary, up to you if you want the vaccination, but they'll also come around to the schools to get you vaccinated. We'll move on to the next person. So we'll be touching on jobs within the library services, and Mr. Ashley Lewis will have a chat to you about that. A round of applause for Mr. Ashley Lewis.
En die colored meisjes kan dans, jong. Maar what I'm here to speak about now is one of the most difficult subjects is public library service. Now, a lot of people, if they think of a public library, they only think of books and read. But first of all, before I want to get into career by public libraries, I want to say public libraries are so much more than only books and reading. We have free Wi-Fi for people that doesn't have internet at home. We have smart care facilities for people that don't have computers at home. All they have to do if you have a library card is to register on the computer, and for 45 minutes you get free internet services for all of you that do your projects. For those that you can't study at home, we have a big study area in the public library. that you can actually use quiet space for you to do your homework. Now, I see when we were at the break, a lot of people, they just walk past the public library, but I mean, we are there created for you, for everything that you require. And what we have done now is not to provide just a free computer service, it's also that we created the link now. And what we have done is, we have identified all the social issues within the community, like teen pregnancy, bursary applications, all those type of things. Once you access the link, it will give you that information, because we're not just a library but the information center also for anybody or any information that you require. Because what we have discovered is that people go on Google, then what they do, they take any information that comes available for them. So what we do is we search for relevant information for you, and then we repackage it, and for you to make easy even in your assignments that you get. We identify certain and different assignments that we get, and we put it in a link for you to access, and then you use our free Wi-Fi. And then you ask yourself, why do you want to become a librarian? Why do you want to work in the library? Now, number one, there's qualified position and unqualified position. Now, there's a library aide that only you only have to have grade 12 for it, grade 10 for it. Then you get an assistant librarian that you only have to have grade 12 for it. And then you get a public librarian, which you can study at UWC, UNISA, any of those universities, which makes you a qualified librarian. And then you get the senior librarian, which is the library manager that runs the library. Those are the positions in the library, and library services also falls under the city of Cape Town, which also give you study opportunities. You get bursaries within the city, which allows you to actually study further also. So the reason for me why I actually became a librarian, and just like you, I grew up in a disadvantaged community. I grew up in the side of Manenberg. And growing up in Manenberg, to see the violence and grow up in the violence each and every day, during your years, all the social issues, all the social traps that is before you, that encouraged me to actually do something in my community. Also, as you grow up, you will see the friends that you lose, the girlfriends that you have that becomes pregnant around you, that isn't married, those type of social issues. And I decided one day I want to make a change, and because my passion was always community upliftment, I wanted to make a change, and I knew I could do it through a public library service. And that's why we are there to create a community service, because one of the most satisfying facts in life is to be able to stand and see that you are actually making a difference within your community, within the people surrounding you. Because we as a public library entity, we are the link between information, between what people require, what people do not know, for decision making, where people do not be able to make the correct decision because they do not have the correct information. If you look at any powerful country in the world, the thing that makes them so powerful is the access to information. They have all these type of information, and the lack of information sometimes get you to make the wrong decisions. So that is why we're there for you. So a public library service is really a thing to think about. Like I said, with reading is so important, because sometimes in school you don't do good in a certain subject, but it's not always because you do not know that subject, it's always you do not understand the question. There's certain things that you do not understand because there's vocabulary that you cannot make a vocabulary in terms of words. Words are too big in the question that you do not understand the word, so you cannot answer the question. But when you know the question, that is the importance of reading. And that is what we provide as a public library. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lewis. So our next speaker will be Mr. Roche Hamid. He is the founder and director of Delft Media and the Roche Group based in Cape Town. So he'll be chatting to you about entrepreneurship. He'll provide all the information. A round of applause to Mr. Roche.
In your guys' aid, I didn't really know what I wanted to do or be one day. And all my friends, they all had everything kind of figured out. I had friends who wanted to be lawyers, accountants, and all different things, and I kind of felt lost for a bit of my age, the age that you guys are at now, and at some point, I kept just like trying different things. And, I also wasn't very good in class and academics, so that wasn't too good for me either. But I kept like kind of experimenting with different things, and I figured out eventually that I'm very good at selling things. Whether it be selling my spot in the line at the Talkshow, I'll tell somebody at the back, if you understand it, give me 5 and you can come to the front. From simple things like that, I realized after a while my skill was making money, and I eventually started a business when I was 18, and I remember at that time the internet became quite a big thing, so I would, in my free time, I would teach myself how to edit pictures, how to create websites and things of that nature. And because of the speed at which the internet grew, I was in a very lucky position to build quite a good business at that age. When I was 18, and then after that I went to study at UWC. I remember in my second year, the middle of my second year, we were going into exam season. And we had this opportunity with the city of Cape Town to do one of the big software infrastructures for the city. And it was close to exams, so I was faced with the challenge: do I study for exams or do I make a bunch of money? And then I took the money, of course. And I had a big argument with my mom at that stage. I remember my mom always wanted me to finish university, because I would have been the first person in my family to have gone to tertiary education. So for her it was quite a difficult thing to see me step away from that. But I had to follow what I believed in. I had to follow what I had built up until that point. And since then, I dropped out when I was 19. I got into different businesses. Myself and a friend at the back there, we bought a couple of businesses. We got into restaurants, nightclub businesses along the street. I made my first million when I was 21. And I'm 25 now. I got into property. And I guess coming here to share my story with you guys. If you want to learn anything about business, you all have Facebook, Instagram. You're welcome to ask questions even now if you have any. I keep it short and sweet, so thank you.
Wow. We wanted to make sure you get a feel of different people, like he shared with you there about the fact that he dropped out of school. But he's not saying that you need to do that, but that was the path he chose, and he's been able to make good use of it. And I think that's what matters, at age 18 and at age 21 made his first million, and 25 invested in properties. I don't know who is thinking about properties or anything related to that. So your path might not be the path he's gone through, but the opportunity we're giving you through here is to just start thinking. Like he said, he didn't even know what he wanted to do. But we had others that told you at the beginning that they already had a clear idea what they wanted to do. And when we did a quick survey earlier, some of you actually said, yeah, you didn't know, you still don't know what you want to do. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. And that's why we brought the UWC, UNISA, Regent, Future Flyers, and other people here today, Richfield, who are here and can advise you as well, just very quickly on what, you can do or not do. But I listened to someone yesterday on a webinar, and I think it was Tyrone that was speaking earlier on about career guidance counseling. And the lady was sharing, she's from Tanzania, it was a virtual webinar, and she was sharing a story about how she wanted to become a pilot. She had dreamed about becoming a pilot, and she really, really wanted to. And then she went to meet a career guidance counselor, and she told her, no, you don't have the skills. You can't. And she thought as well that that was the case for her. So she never followed that dream. However, what she's doing now, she runs business called Empower, where she's empowering young people and she's helping them to make their dreams. So what I'm trying to say is don't let people discourage you, as well. You heard the story from Sister there, as well, about our story, and our dear brother as well, in terms of, Library wanting to uplift his community. So there's a lot of various things, for you that you can do. So before I go into the where we do questions, where I ask a question and you can win a prize or something. Do you have any questions for our three last speakers at the moment? Although you can go and speak to them afterwards. No questions? Everybody's happy before we do the... and you can go and ask, they're still around. So if there are no questions, I'm going to ask if some of you were listening like we've been doing all morning. How long did it take Sister Schumann to study before she became a nursing assistant? Oh, look at this. Was it 8 years? 10 years, okay. I wasn't listening then. I had the wrong answer now. Okay, no, okay. No, it was 4 years you said for, no. Thank you, and yes, it wasn't restricted to you guys only. I think other people are now just realizing that they could take part in this. Okay, and then, Mr. Roche said, he attended which university? Okay. Yeah.
UWC.
I know, you were pointing at her. You were saying something else. UWC, come forward. What kind of businesses? You need to name 2. Okay. Who can bring me a black bean bag? A bean bag. No, not bag, for rubbish. Bag for rubbish. Who can bring me a bag for rubbish? A black bean bag. Oh, okay. Is that bullshit?
Anyway guys, my name is Nudi Obuke. I am Sportswoman of the Year for Eastern Cape 2021. I'm also the first princess in Miss Wheelchair South Africa beauty pageant. And I'm originally from Delft. A little bit about myself, I started sports 6 years ago. I've played professionally for South Africa since the age of 15. So I've been traveling the world. With COVID, a little bit, there was no traveling, but I was competing in international competitions that was held in South Africa. So at the moment, looking at the future Paralympian, my target is to go to the Paralympics in 2024. I'm busy training for it right now. And obviously, trying to get funding together, because in sports, there's always money involved. But you shouldn't be discouraged. And trust me, wearing those South African colors and walking through the airport with everybody staring at you with your medal. Especially if it's only gold medals. They look at you like, huh? And in sport, I feel like, for me personally, it's therapy. When I was a lot in doubt, I used to get through a lot of things. When I mean a lot, I get to join Farouk. But through sports, I drifted away from all the unnecessary underage drinking, smoking weed, etc., etc. So yeah, it was therapy for me personally. And I was an angry person. I'm not like, we're just a man, just a fraud, so I had to come away from that a little bit. But yeah, I can say I'm proud to be where I am today. And I'm proud to be from Delft. So yeah.
So what are you currently doing now?
So at the moment I'm studying management assistant at Warren College in Stellenbosch. Reasons being also involved in sports. With management assistant you can either work at a law firm, you can either work at the hospital. If not, you can be on the board like for sports, work for SASCOG, the OPEX program. You can basically take athletes all over the world if you feel like doing that. But it doesn't have a specific drop down for you because you can go in any field as long as you have the qualification and the expertise. So yeah.
And you were born with a disability?
Oh yes, I was born with a disability since a baby. So yeah. What you want to say?
So, but you are not allowed that to stop you from any night to go to what you need to do.
I do more than people who have normal legs, so what's the point? So I'm proud to be who I am today.
Okay. And what words of advice would you give them?
Words of advice, I was bullied a lot, so don't allow that. I was bullied and then I became a bully. I know a lot, sometimes a person you don't think on the spot. Just because this person is attacking, now you can let me attack and you just have to calm down and walk away from it. Because at the end of the day, what you put out in the world is what will define you as a person. Like I've been saying since the age of 13, your attitude determines your altitude. In the sense of your attitude is bad now, if you join that person's energy, the world will see you the same way, trust me on that. So yeah.
Give it up for Nari. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. I know I'm going to
taking time out of his very busy schedule to be with us today. And for goodness sake, the man is trying to save us from load shedding and all kinds of other things. So, Mr. Mann, very warm welcome, and I'm not going to take the photo more longer. So over to
you. Not that kind of entertainment program. I see you in your school uniform in the holidays. I'm sorry about that. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much, Daneo, for the invitation and for organizing this event. Daneo has asked me to say a few words about career choice, and it's my absolute pleasure to do so. Now, I understand that most of the pressure when you are young is about picking a career that does what? Be honest? There you go, exactly. Thank you for being honest, sir. Picking the career that pays the most money. I understand that it might take you some years to figure this out, but that is a mistake. That is a mistake. You've got to pick something that makes you happy. And the way that you find out what makes you happy is that you look for something that you really enjoy doing, or something that gives you a sense of personal meaning. Now, what do I mean by personal meaning? If you feel like you are not making a contribution in the world, a positive contribution, you will be bored and you will not have joy. And there's some sense of superficial joy,
for some time, but in the end it's not going to last. It's not going to last. You're going to end up unhappy because you're not doing something that gives you a personal sense of meaning. But when you are doing something that actually contributes to the world around you, when you are living for something that is bigger than yourself, then you get a sense of meaning, that you have purpose in your life. And then you feel inner happiness. And when you have inner happiness, you feel joy. And then, you know, the secret that I have found is that money will follow that. So money is not irrelevant. I understand that many of you have got very, very tough home lives, lots of single parents, I'm sure. I also had a single mom. Money was very tight. Very, very tight indeed. But, so money is not irrelevant. I'm not saying that you should forget about it at all. You've got to look after the family, you've got to pay the bills. But it should be secondary to your own sense of meaning. And in my experience, financial reward, monetary reward, will follow that. So it's all about where your priorities are. And I think that you'll find a lot more joy and a lot more purpose and meaning from doing something that is outside of yourself, that isn't just inwardly focused, than if you just focused on personal gratification or satisfaction in your career choice. Now, I can talk to you about politics, and Stewie and Danelle, we can talk to you about politics, but this is not the only career where you can find a sense of meaning, not by a long way, actually. So this just happens to be the one that the three of us have chosen, and the three of us are pretty good at it, I think, if I may say so. The two of them are excellent counselors. But there's lots of other careers out there that can really give you a sense that you're doing something useful for the society that you live in, for the community that you live in, and for the world. My mom is a nurse, and she does an enormous amount of good in helping treat sick patients. In fact, for a long time she was a theatre nurse and an ER nurse, which is particularly life-saving. But even in jobs that the three of us will find difficult even to comprehend at this stage, because they just weren't around when we were getting into the job market. There are new kinds of industries and new kinds of jobs where you can still make a positive contribution to the world around you and do something that is bigger than yourself. So when you are thinking about what you want to do, have that in mind. How old are the older kids here? How old are you? 17. Are you in matric? Are these all matrics? Yes. All matrics, okay. And then we've got some younger ones here. Now, the second thing that I want to say, so that's the first thing, is find meaning, not money. The second thing that I want to say is you don't have to decide now, or anytime soon, frankly. You do not have to decide now or anytime soon. 17 or 18 is very, very young to make a decision about what you want to do with your life. And you know that in this generation, again, unlike our generation, where we made a decision when we were in varsity and then we stuck with it, this generation changes jobs 3 or 4 or 5 times or even more throughout their career. So don't feel like where you start is where you're going to end, because it's actually, you can have an adventure that takes you through a whole lot of different routes and detours through your career. So if you're not sure about what you want to do, it's okay to take some time to think about it. The question is what you do with that time. Do you sit at home and play TV games? Or sit on the corner and just chat with your friends all day? Or do you expand your ability to do whatever you want to do in the future? So that if you decide you want to take that detour, you can take it if you want to. Or if you decide you want to go that direction, you can go that direction if you want to. And the way that you do that is make sure that you spend this time that you're still trying to decide investing in yourself, investing in your own abilities. And you do that by making sure that you, firstly, that you finish school. And even if you are here today and you did not finish school, there's no reason why you can't go back and finish it now. Even part-time, with something like UCT online high school, or Damnon, or UNISA. You can finish it. And if you are finishing school, like these matriculants, you're about to start mocks in a little while, and then finals. Make sure that you finish, and make sure that you do as well as you possibly can. Because you don't want to shut down the number of routes and T-junctions and detours that you can take. If you want to maximize the world of opportunity and adventure that lies before you, you've got to do as well as you possibly can. So that's the second point. The third point, when you are in your first opportunity, whatever it is, whether you're working in the only job that you can find, a starter job, whatever it is, make sure you do your absolute best and take pride in your work. Even if you have the most basic job, you can take pride in your work and show that you are capable of much bigger things in the future. But if you show in this little starting position that you cannot be trusted and that you don't take pride in your work, how can you expect to ever be given or to have the opportunity to do something bigger and better in the future? So you might not know what you want to do, and you might say, you know what, I'm just going to get any job that I can right now, whether it be working at the McDonald's, whatever. Do that job well, to the best of your ability, and another opportunity will come your way. Opportunities find good, hard-working people, not the other way around. Do you know that? Opportunities find good, hard-working people, not the other way around. And that's why I say you don't have to decide what you want to do, because if you work hard in the opportunity that you have now and do your best and take pride in your work, something else will come along and then you'll go there. And if you work hard and do your best and take pride in your work there, something else will come along and you can decide whether to take that opportunity or not. So now I've given you 3 bits of advice. Hopefully that will help you in the months and years ahead. Firstly, don't work for money, work for meaning. That's what will bring you joy. That's what will bring you joy, and money will follow. Secondly, you don't have to decide now, but while you're waiting to decide, invest in yourself. Do the absolute best that you can to expand your knowledge, to maximize the number of routes that you can take, possible routes that you can take in the future. And third, wherever you start, it doesn't matter how small, it doesn't matter how basic, do your best and always take pride in your work. And that starts right now in school. If you're just scraping by, because you know deep down you're making zero effort, then think about that. You've still got time to fix that between now and your final exams. And even if you improve just by 10%, that's a whole lot more doors that are open to you after school. And that's really the point of this final phase of your schooling. And I think that if you do those 3 things, the Nero asked me to talk about politics. I haven't spoken about politics. Politics is just one way that you can serve your community. We find a lot of meaning from that particular way. But there's lots of other ways to do it. Lots and lots of other ways. But if you do those 3 things, all of those doors will be available to you, and you can choose which one you take when the moment is right. And finally, I would say to you, you're all extremely young. I'm double your age. You're 17, I'm 34. It's hard to believe that it was 17 years ago that I was in matric. 18 years ago. In fact, you weren't born. You weren't born when I was in matric. That makes me feel so old. Yeah, that shows you, right? So don't take yourself too seriously, because you are extremely young. I know that life feels extremely serious right now, stressful. There's lots of anxiety, lots of friends, pressure, girlfriend, pressure, boyfriend, pressure, all of those. Don't take it all too seriously because life is an incredible adventure. There is lots of roads still to walk, lots of road. Things will go wrong, things will go right. There will be terrible disappointments, heartbreaks, sad losses, and wonderful victories and high points. So see it all as an adventure and try not to take yourself too seriously. I know that even as I say that, and I think back to 17-year-old Jordan, I would not have accepted that advice. So I'm sure that most of you are saying, yeah, whatever, old man. You'll find this out in a few years when you start with actually being an adult out there. But I promise you, there really is no need to take yourself too seriously. Life is a wonderful, incredible adventure, and you take it each day as it comes and do the very best with what you have where you are. And I think if you do those 4 things, you'll probably have a pretty fulfilling life. I don't know if you'll be as rich as Bill Gates. I have no idea. Maybe you will. But I know that you'll be rich inside because you'll have a sense of happiness and joy. And you'll have a great family that loves you. And that's the most important thing in the whole world. That is the most important thing. So, be kind to one another and follow those 4 pieces of advice, and I think it'll go pretty well. And in a few years' time, when you run into me somewhere, and you say, you know that day in Delft, I thought you were talking complete nonsense. And I didn't listen to a word of what you were saying, you'll come to me and you say, you know what, you were actually right. Now I see it. And they say that youth is the only self-correcting ailment. Do you understand that? Youth is the only self-correcting ailment. When you get to 34, you'll understand the meaning of that saying. Thank you very much, everyone.
And the mayor.
Molly, your sister. Yes, taking the picture. Lemon flavor. Nice. Now you can cut bigger slices. Okay. Lovely. Nice lemon flavor. Who baked it? Very nice, Where's Chloe? Where's Chloe Adams?
Chloe Adams, Mayor wants to give your money to you. There she is. Yeah.
Is this Chloe Adams?
Yes, Chloe Adams.
Thank you for registering to vote.
Thank you.
Everyone, be like Chloe.